Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Phil Switch. I am Phil Carute, and I am joined by my fearless co-host, Brock Tamarino. The Phil Switch podcast is brought to you by Sal's Tire Caps. Sal's Tire Caps. Just when you thought tires couldn't get any sexier. Well, Brock, the new year is upon us officially, and I do not bother with doing that whole New Year's resolution thing. Do you do any of that, Brock?
Sometimes, like if we're together with family or something like that, and everybody's doing it, I might say something like, this New Year's, I'm going to try to read more books or something like that. But honestly, I really try to focus on, just doing my thing throughout the whole year. And then I don't have as much to worry about. So I wouldn't say that I really have New Year's resolutions consistently or per se, but that's about as much as I do.
Yeah, I think I can remember doing it one time, maybe like in I don't know, high school or middle school. And that's for anybody listening. If you do New Year's resolutions, that's not me saying it's juvenile like high school or middle school. That's just me saying it's the only time I can remember it. I know a lot of people do New Year's resolutions, and it makes them feel better. It actually gives them something to work towards through the year, and so that's great. I will say I went to the gym to work out this morning, and obviously it was extremely busy because of the New Year's resolutions that have to do with fitness and losing weight or, whatever, getting them gains, however people look at it. So, but no, I don't do them, but I thought it would be interesting today to check in with some of our listeners and see what kind of New Year's resolutions they have, if you are so inclined to hear that, Brock.
Yeah, I mean, I always like hearing from listeners, and last time we did an interview, or I got to do an interview, which was great. So yeah, let's take some listeners and have them call in, hear about maybe what some of their New Year's resolutions were. It looks like our producer is already at the phones, and he has our first caller, Daryl. Daryl, what is a New Year's resolution or some New Year's resolutions maybe that you have going on for this upcoming year?
Well, I'll tell you right now, guys, I'm always trying to work on myself as a person, as a people, human. And so my New Year's resolution typically has to do with me trying to find some way to get tougher. A lot of my friends call me tough guy, and I think they say that half jokingly, but half kind of scared. But I always try to find a way to get a little bit tougher, So one thing I think I'm going to try to do this year is I'm going to get one of them speed bags, like they had in Rocky Balboa movies, and you guys might have seen Mike Tyson punching one of them around where they're just like a dum da dum da dum da dum da dum da dum da. And I really want to get one of them speed bags because I think it would help with my punching ability. Now, I don't want people to get the wrong idea. Don't go start a fight with me. I already got a pretty solid punching ability. But it's just going to make my speed quicker. If I ever get in a fight, I'm going to hit somebody in a rhythm. That's what I'm going to do when the guy's up there and he's in my face. I'm going to do ba-dum, 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 and I'm just going to keep hitting his nose like in that cartoon you guys might see sometimes in them cartoons. If somebody gets hit in the nose, their nose just goes flitter, flatter, flitter, flatter, up and down. That's what I'm going to try to do because it seems like that technique is deceivingly useless, but it actually has a very good use because, for one, you punch with this soft part of your hand, and then also you're doing da dum 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 da dum, and by the time you hit that guy about 3,000 times, he's like, I think somebody hit me in the nose. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Going to try to get a little bit tougher. Of course, I got some other side resolutions I got going on, which I don't want to share with the public right now. But so that's kind of my New Year's resolution: just get tougher, stay tougher, be tougher. So. Thanks, guys, for having me on, and, get tough.
All right, cool. Thank you. Thank you very much, Daryl. So Daryl's going to work on getting tougher this year by getting a speed bag. These are the types of calls we want here on the Phil Switch. We want people to just come through and let us know what their New Year's resolutions are, and we'll just go from there. So our next caller is Javier. Javier, you were on the Phil Switch. We are interested in hearing what New Year's resolution or resolutions you have for this coming year?
Okay, so thank you very much first of all, thank you very much for having me on the Field Switch. This is such a great opportunity. I tell my families, I say, if I can get on the Field Switch one more time, it's going to be such a great opportunity for me. My family is like, well, Javier, you should be on all the times because you're like you're like the the people tell it to me, and I want to believe it, and I do believe it. I'm the world's most romantic person, right? I'm the most romantic person in the world. And my New Year's resolution, as it is every year, these are no surprise to my family, no surprise to what you call my clientele, and no surprise to me, is I want to help guide people into a more romantic lifestyle, through the persuasion of sassiness. I heard you guys say at the top of the show with South that the tires never been sassier, or you can't imagine tires sassier. Well, people look at me and they say, I can't imagine a person more sassier. And I said to them, oh no, listen to me. I am sassier, right? Of course I am sassier than you right now. But wait until I get to work with you. And then you're going to be standing side by side to me and you're going to say, Javier, I'm almost as sexy as you. And I'm going to say, yeah, almost. But I still have confidence that you can go out and you can get a beautiful, beautiful ladies, right? Or if you're a lady, sometimes the ladies come to me and they say, Javier, how do we get a man like you? And I say, well, it's not easy. It's not easy as you think, but I can help you get a man that is almost as sexy as me. And sometimes the ladies are very disheartened and discouraged. And I said to them, I say, hey, guess what my New Year's resolution was? It was to make you that much more sexier, or to get a sexier man. You know what I'm saying? So my New Year's goal has a lot to do with, there's different applications to sassiness, you know what I'm saying? So when I look at the New Year's resolution, I said to myself, I want to spread my love, right? I want to spread my love around. I want to make sure that people, they are getting most as sexy as they can. And so when I'm spreading this love, I have to remember, Javier, listen to me. Javier, you have so much talent. You have so much skill that just the Lord, the God gives you, right? The God gives you this talent, And there's some people that don't have the talents. They have to work for Javier. I mean, they have to work for it. I probably the woman is sexy, But some people have to work for it. And I have to remind myself, Javier, you have to teach them about some basic principles of romance. If someone have a romance, somebody that have a romance, they're so sexy. They're so much sexier than someone who doesn't have romance. Like, for instance, let me tell you this. So if a lady comes home, right, let's say it for a guy that's trying to be more sexier. The lady come home and she look at the guy. If the guy's sitting there on the recliner and he got his belly sticking out of his white tank top, and his tank top has a little stain on it, and you look down and he got those white tight underwear, son, but the underwear have a little stain, but it's not like the stain. It's not at the crotch section or the behind. The stain is like on the leg side. And then you go down and his leg is hairy. And then you get to the sock, and the sock is all dirty. It's a white sock, but it's dirty. And then his big toe is sticking out of the sock. You look at yourself and say, that's not sexy. That's not romantic. You know what I say? And so that guy need a lot of help. But then you go to another guy, and his wife get home, and he's thrown out on the couch, and he's laying there all sexy, like, who was that guy? Burt Reynolds or something on the fur, right? But obviously the guy had clothes on. And he laying there on his couch all sprawled out, and his muscles there glistening because he just put baby oil on himself, and his muscles are glistening, and he's in a nice pair of shorts that look like those surfer shorts, and he's sitting there, and he got his muscles, and his muscles are all defined, and they're glistening from the baby oils, and you see his abdominal muscles, right? And then he say, well, listen to this. His wife, she coming through the doors, and she look at him, and he say, hey, baby, you know what time it is? And she say, and this is how she said it. She said, what time is it? And he said, oh, I think you know what time it is. And she said, no, I don't know what time is it. And he's like, well, I be romantic. And it's sexy time. And she like, what you say? And he's like, oh yeah. And then he does the kiss thing. And he blows her a kiss. Now that is romantic. That is sexy. And that's the difference between holding the sock guy and baby oil body glistening guy. So then my goal is always to make sure that people are sexier within the next year. But also, I have to remember the romance. This romance doesn't always come to people like it come to Javier. So Javier has to say, Javier. Javier has to say to Javier, Javier. And I say, yes, I'm here. And I say, Javier, listen to me. And I say, hey, right here. I totally listen to everything you say because you are me and I am you. And I'm saying it to me and I'm listening. So I hear you, Javier. And I say, Javier, listen to me. You gotta make sure that you don't just teach me about the way sexy, right? Because sexy is easy. You got to teach people how to be romantic. And that is really the highest level of the sexiness. So that's what I going to do this year. That's my New Year's resolution, as is every year.
That's great. So you're helping with relationships. That's cool, Javier. We appreciate you coming on. And you know what, Javier? If you wouldn't mind, would you come back to do a Valentine's Day tips for this year, 2023, sometime closer to Valentine's Day? Would that be okay?
Oh my gosh, Philo, yes, that would be a pleasure to me. I used to do it in the videos earlier, and then I missed a couple years or 1 or 2 years. But I would love to come back on here and do the field switch and do that and give people this so they can have a better Valentine's Day. So yeah, that would warm my heart. It would make it would really make part of my New Year's resolution come true, to come back on here close to the Valentine's Day, give people Valentine's Day tips on how to be so romantic and so sassy. So yes, I will do it. Just tell your producer to get with my people, which actually my people are me. So tell him to get with me, and then I will come on the show whenever you guys are going to do that show around Valentine's Day sometimes.
Perfect. I will let the producer know. In fact, he's nodding his head right now, saying that he's making a note of it. I see him writing something down, and we will get you back here around Valentine's Day this year. So thank you very much, Javier. Thank you for sharing your New Year's resolution. Next caller we have up is Tactical Tim. Tactical Tim, we have not heard from you for a while. Still waiting on more videos, Tactical Tim, to be honest. So Tactical Tim, New Year's resolutions from you.
All right, guys. So, I have been gone a while. I explained that last time I was on the show. I feel like the feedback I got from your other listeners, some of my bigger fans, they understood my turmoil and conflict. But I plan to get back doing some videos. I'm just really, through the holidays, through the thing I went with the Queen, I'm still really trying to figure out how I tactically want to get back into the video portion of my contract with you guys. But as you guys already paid in full and paid up front, I feel like it's something I have to do ethically based and obviously legally based, because that's a binding contract. So I will get to that. There's no reason to have your guys' attorneys call me again. Anyway, my New Year's resolutions, guys, at the end of the day, my New Year's resolution is to always be more tactical, more practical. And the way I plan to do that this year is I'm trying to come up with some way that, a lot of times people will, I'll try to relate this to the people. When people are trying to do a New Year's resolution where they're losing weight or they're gaining muscle mass, they're trying to become more swole, they will often go up in weight. And what does going up in weight require, guys? Either of you guys, what does going up in weight require? I guess it requires more weight. Yeah, I mean, it does require more weight, but if you're going up in weight, okay, let's say this, okay, Brock, that's a very good point. It does require more weight. But if you're going up in more weight, right, like let's use the bench press. If you're going to do the bench press because you want to get swollen your chest, right? Bench press, swollen chest. Is that a rhyme? I think it is. If you want to get your bench press weight up, right? And as Brock pointed out, you get more weight, obviously. Very good point, Brock. That's a practical point and a tactical point, really, because you can't go up in weight if you don't have more weights. Brock, knocking out of the park. But if you want to go up in weight, okay, and you're at your threshold, what you need is a spotter. Right. And in the world of tacticians, in the tactical world, that spotter ultimately outside of the gym, okay, outside of the gym, coming back into the fold and outside, that spotter essentially has your six, right? But sometimes you want to go past that plateau. And now I'm back into the tactical world. So sometimes you want to go past that plateau of tactics, right? And as you look to your side and you're scanning, you realize I don't have my spotter. I don't have my six man. And you essentially have to either go naked and blind on your six, or you have to find a way to have your own six. Now, a lot of people say this mentally, like, I don't need anybody to help me. I'm a tough person. I don't need anybody on my six. But really, everybody needs to make sure. I mean, you can scan your sides, your peripherals, but you have to have somebody on your six. And what I am trying to do this year, my New Year's resolution, essentially, is going to be that I find a way to get my own six, and not in like the dramatic teen TV show way where the kid says, I don't need anybody. I mean, like literally, tactically, and practically be able to get my own six. Now, I've worked with some, if you guys have seen those sunglasses that have the mirrors, I've worked with some manufacturers to try to retool those so they're more tactical. More practical. And I'm working on that. I think I've almost got it nailed between basically a set of side mirrors in my sunglasses, some type of side mirror device on my shoes so I can be standing there and just kind of looking down and being like, somebody's on my six, I'm going to turn around, neutralize. And then also some type of maybe side mirror on my on the brim of my hat. I often wear a hat like this, want to protect my eyes, because then my scanning ability is more efficient because my eyes aren't fatigued from the sunshine or just the glare. It might not be the sunshine directly, because you shouldn't look at the sun directly. That's not a tactical approach to the sun, but it could be from the glare off a very bright ground. Which I always try to pay attention to, because sometimes I'll be walking, I'll be like, hey, hon, don't stand there. There'll be a glare that comes up. You won't be able to see any assailant that might be trying to attack you from the front, and I can only do so much on your six. So, that's really my goal. It's probably a spoiler alert for people looking for product coming out for me, or swag. But that's what I'm working on right now, and that's my New Year's resolution. So, I appreciate you guys having me on. I plan to get back to the videos and just see what I can do. But right now I got a lot of projects on my plate. So, all right. Well, thank you very much, Tactical Tim. Always a pleasure. And best of luck to you with your six products. So, thank you, Tactical Tim, for coming on and sharing with us. Okay, next up we have Debbie, my favorite. Debbie, so glad to have you call in right after the new year. Debbie, how you doing? Share some New Year's resolutions with us. Debbie, the floor is yours.
Oh, yeah. Hi, guys. Yeah, Debbie here. Short for Deborah, of course. Yeah, I listened to you guys at the top of the show. You guys said you don't really do New Year's resolutions. Well, Brock kind of fakes it till he makes it with his family, but it doesn't sound like you guys really do those. Yeah. Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I hear some people around. Some of the heavier set people kind of say like, I wish I could just lose a few pounds. And I kind of like, well, phew, that's not very ambitious. But, to each their own. I mean, I'm not trying to insult him, but I don't think you have to worry about New Year's resolution with Debbie. I don't care about New Year's resolution. I just try to do everything, I don't want to be like I'm not like a life coach or anything, yeah, but... some people are like, oh, Debbie, why don't you do New Year's resolutions? I'm like, oh, I don't do New Year's resolutions because I just try to do what I do. Yeah, throughout the whole year. They're like, oh, you mean you just have goals throughout the whole year? Like, yeah, kind of. I mean, I don't really see the reason to like living through 360 days or something to then like right at the end be like, oh, I need to come up with something I want to accomplish next year because I didn't accomplish anything this year. So I just try to accomplish stuff like throughout the year. And then at the end of the year, I'm like, I did pretty good. So I'm just going to enjoy some bonbons and chill out. So yeah, I don't really do New Year's resolutions, but it's been interesting listening to the show today. Yeah. So Phil, what about you? You said you don't do New Year's resolutions. Why not?
Really kind of the same reason as you, Debbie. I just try to stay motivated throughout the year and find things that I want to do, and set some goals for myself throughout the year and just accomplish those goals. And as I accomplish those goals, I try to move on and accomplish other things. And so basically the same as you.
Oh, yeah. So it just sounds like you stole my answer. That's not really. I mean, if that's the reason you really did, that's fine. Just sounds like you stole my answer a little bit, but that's okay. Yeah. So yeah, and Brock, you said you just kind of say it because your family's saying something. So yeah. Do you have Brock? Do you have goals throughout the year?
Yeah. I mean, I try to keep myself busy. Try to focus on what I'm doing. Like the Phil Switch here. I always have a goal of coming in and trying to make it a good show with Phil and whoever we have calling in, or whoever we have visiting in our studio. The Phil Switch is a focus of mine, so I try to put my best into the show and try to make goals for being a better family man, and just try to do that throughout the year. But I don't really think of it like as an end of the year thing. It's just something I'm always working on.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you're working on the first switch. You're trying your best. Yeah, I think it seems like it's going well. I don't know. I try to listen as much as I can. I love calling in. So, but yeah, so that's my New Year's resolution. I've enjoyed listening to some of the other people's, like the guy that wants to be tough or whatever, and then or the guy looking for love in all the wrong places or something like that. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to what he was saying. But anyway, guys, Happy New Year, and I'm sure I'll be calling in later.
Yeah. Happy New Year, Debbie. Always a pleasure to have you on. As like I said, no offense to the other callers or other listeners, but Debbie, one of my favorite. Always a pleasure to have her on. So it looks like we have two more callers. We got one on the line right now, and then the other one on hold. I hate to rush them, but we are kind of running to the end of our show here. So we'll get these last two callers on, and we'll let you guys go here. So next caller, Stan. Stan, what is your New Year's resolution?
Well, guys, I'll tell you right now. I used to, for the longest time, I wasn't doing New Year's resolutions. And then the past couple of years, I started doing New Year's resolutions again. And I just make them real, real simple. And this year, my New Year's resolution was to just see, I got my friend Clyde. And Clyde's just a real jokester. He's just a real sly guy. He just goes with the flow. And this year, my New Year's resolution was to be a little bit more like Clyde. Now, I don't want to be Clyde, because Clyde is Clyde, and, well, I'm Stan. But I just thought, oh, you know what I'm going to do, Stan? I'm going to try to be a little more slick. When I see somebody walking down the street, because Clyde, he's always making jokes. If he sees a guy walking down the street, he'll say, hey, you dropped your pocket back there. And the guy will look back, and Clyde will say, oh, I got you there, I'm just joking. And typically the guys laugh. One time this guy got real mad and started cursing at Clyde, and then he started cursing at me, and I didn't even say nothing. I was laughing a little bit because that joke is so funny. But I think I'll just try to be a little more slick. Like I was thinking, I didn't do it yet, but I was going down to the coffee shop today, and I saw this guy walking, and he had a little giddy up in his step, and I almost said like, oh, you got, I almost said something like this. I said, well, sir, looks like you got a little giddy up in your step. And I thought, the problem is, see, Clyde, he can just do all that stuff with a straight face. When I saw this guy, I saw him with a little giddy up in his step, and I thought in my head, I said, oh, I should say, oh, sir, you got a little giddy up in your step. Well, just thinking it made me start laughing. And so that guy just passed, and he looked at me like I was out of my mind. And so I didn't get to say it, but that guy gave me a weird look, and I thought, oh, I bet if I'd said that, he would have thought that was about the funniest thing he had heard. And so I just want to try to be a little bit more slick like Clyde, a little bit more quicker on my wit. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to start trying that out, and I could always call you guys back later, a couple weeks or so, let you know how that's going, let you know how my little joke's going, get people laughing, get people smiling, and just see if I'm getting that goal. I always like having some type of goal. Sometimes I'll write it down, and then after I reach that goal, I'll check it off. I'll just put a check mark right beside it, and that's what I have. I have on my notebook here. I got be a little wittier is what I ended up writing down, and as soon as I do that, I'm going to check it off. Like if I would have told that guy, "Oh, you got a little get up in your step," and he would have laughed, I would have almost checked it, but I would have waited because I want to see if I can keep it going here for a little bit now.
That's yeah, that sounds like a great goal. You know, you're trying to bring some happiness to people's life. You're trying to get them to laugh a little bit, get them to smile. That sounds like a great goal, Stan. Thank you for coming on the Phil Switch.
Oh no, it's my pleasure. I'm so glad you guys took my call. So glad I got a call in, and a long time listener, first time caller. That's what people are saying. Now, I have called in before, but that's sometimes something people are saying that it's real funny.
Yeah, people call in, and it is funny when they say that.
Yeah, so I like I said, I wouldn't want to check that box off yet, but it's something I'm real close to doing. I can just feel it.
Well, hey, Stan, you keep working on that. Yeah, definitely call us back in a couple weeks and let us know. You know what, Stan? Even if the show doesn't have anything to do with it, call us back in a couple weeks if you think about it, and let us know how that New Year's resolution is going for you.
All right, I'll do that, guys. Thank you so much for having me on.
All righty, Stan. Last caller. Yep, we got to wrap it up here. So last caller, Rakesh. Rakesh, let us know what your New Year's resolution is, and I don't want to rush you, but if you could make it quick, Rakesh, we'd really appreciate it.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. Yes, I wanting to call in. I am having New Year's resolution, and I am hearing it from a caller before. I believe his name was Javier. He is helping for people to be sexier, but what he is saying is he is looking at the romance side of it. Is this correct? And what I am telling to you is my New Year's resolution is to find the love of my life, the woman of my dreams. I want to take her into my arms and cuddle with her. And I want to feel like love is beaming from my heart. But the problem is I do know not the game of romance. I am struggling with this and talking to ladies. And I am hoping that maybe you can put me in touch with Javier and he will be able to show me the ray of romance. Now I will say that I must be like right in between the two examples. I have never been a guy that has a stained tank top and stained undergarments and a sock with a hole in it. But at the same time, I have never been sitting on a couch glistening with my muscles. So I am hoping that maybe he can take my middle of the road person who is typically in loafers and slacks and a shirt, a man's blouse, sitting on my couch, watching TV, wondering and wishing. I wish I could be sharing this bowl of popcorn with a fine lady. She does not have to be like supermodel. That is not what I am asking. I am asking for a companionship. I am asking for romance. And I am wondering to myself, could Javier lead me in the right direction? So, I am asking to you, maybe you could put me in touch with Javier. And if you would, I'd be so appreciative of it. And you will understand that my romance has grown and it has bloomed. And we are seeing things in a way that Rakesh has not seen them before. And that would warm my heart. That is my New Year's resolution. I thank you for your time and consideration.
Yeah, Rakesh, I think we could probably put you in contact with Javier if he doesn't mind that. Do you want him to like email you, a cell phone? Rakesh? Okay, he hung up. So I'm guessing, yes, our producer said that he got his information and he'll get a hold of Javier and take care of all that. So anyway, we got a lot of, we got people looking for romance. We got people wanting to make more people laugh. We got people wanting to be tougher. We got Tactical Tim is wanting to make a new product. Debbie apparently doesn't care about New Year's resolutions because she just does stuff through the year. And yeah, that was fun. That was good. So, we'll head out of here. Phil, I guess go ahead and take us out.
All right. Well, as always, guys, thank you for listening to the Phil Switch. If you want to catch me on the 1st and 15th podcast, you can do so. Releases on the 1st and 15th. I co-host that with my buddy Cap over at Kaplowitz Media. If you would like to reach out to us, you can do that through Gmail. So that is thephilswitch@gmail.com. Again, that's thephilswitch@gmail.com. As always, guys, we appreciate you listening. We wish you all a great week, and we'll talk to you soon here at the Phil Switch.